in the damn internet. Shout out to Brick City over on X, man. They was the ones who kind of exposed this thing here. And oh my goodness, dog. I don't even know where to start, man. Because it was just because I try, guys. I really try to understand. I try to understand this league. I really do. And I try to watch the games and I try to make good content. But it's hard for me to take this league.
The Golden State Valkyries represent the perfect model for what WNBA franchises should aspire to become. This organization has established itself as the ultimate example of excellence, setting new standards across the league. Their status as the premier template stems not from their win-loss record or coaching accolades. Though Natasha Cass deserves recognition as a capable strategist who merits Coach of the Year consideration, rather the Valkyries have revealed fundamental flaws throughout the WNBA, particularly highlighting how outdated approaches continue to plague established franchises. The Indiana Fever serves as the most glaring example of this antiquated thinking. When rebuilding their organization, the Fever made the critical error of prioritizing WNBA experience above all else.
It's hard for me to take this league serious, guy. I'm not a super fan. I'm not a super basketball nerd. I don't know all the players. I don't know. I'm casual, bro. I'm as casual as it gets when it comes to the WNBA. But guys, watch this here, bro. This is just one clip. Watch this. Watch this.
Off the glass.
Watch this, bro.
How about steal number?
Look at this. Coast to coast. Up. I'm finna dunk. Up. I'm not. Oh my God. Damn. Look at.
Their hiring decisions reflected old guard mentality, recruiting a head coach with league credentials, bringing in a general manager who previously handled marketing for the Wings, and installing a basketball operations president with Pacers and Fever background. These appointments led to predictably conservative roster construction, beginning with attempts to reacquire Natasha Howard. While Howard remains a solid contributor, her playing style embodies everything wrong with traditional WNBA thinking. She functions as a center trapped in a forward's frame, offering limited shooting range and minimal floor spacing capabilities. Her presence represents the kind of non-modern power forward that today's game has largely moved beyond. The Valkyries have systematically dismantled this outdated philosophy.
Damn. Look at this. Look at this, bro. And this was just from the other day.
How about steal number 4?
This was from the other day. Oh my God. Now, this is another clip here. Hold on. Let's see this. Let's see this one here.
Temi Curlin. Driving. Powering her way to the bucket.
Come on, bro. And I like Timmy. And I like, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Go back. What happened, bro?
The contrast becomes stark when examining what the Fever actually needed: defensive intensity, pace of play, and perimeter shooting. The organization did address these areas partially, acquiring defensive presence through Brianna Turner, adding Howard's veteran leadership and athleticism, and securing three-point shooting via Sophie Cunningham. However, signings like Sydney Colson expose the franchise's confused priorities. Colson provides energy in limited minutes but offers none of the three core elements the team desperately required. Her role as a rotation player rather than third-string option highlights roster construction failures. The situation might have worked with proper backup point guard depth through players like Wheeler, Grace Berger, or Julie Van Loo, but the shallow roster construction left gaps.
Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Go back. What happened, bro? Let's play.
Gets it back. Fakes the pass and
Come
lays
on,
it
bro.
in.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. This is looking spooky. But what is looking spooky of it all, I can't even lie, is this last little clip right here, guys. This is 41 seconds long. Somebody say, pay them what you owe them. This is what Brick.
Examining individual roster decisions reveals additional problems. The DeWanna Bonner acquisition initially appeared logical based on her Connecticut Sun performance, yet she never meshed with the team from preseason onward. Meanwhile, the Turner signing and retention of Erica Wheeler created collections of one-dimensional players without complementary skills. The Valkyries built their roster differently, prioritizing specific archetypes over reputation. Players like Carla Daly bring elite speed at the guard position. Cecilia Zandalicini provides defensive athleticism.
But you owe them. This is what Brick City Captain is at. Guys, watch this.
Your timing, understanding where someone else's body is, and just putting yourself in the right place.
Boston the steal.
Come on, Lexi. Look. Watch this.
Valkyries haven't exactly taken great care of the rock.
Watch this. Are you serious? Are you serious? Watch this. Watch this. She went completely under the basket. Hold on. Hold on, bro. Did she just go under the damn basket?
Kaylee Thornton offers versatility, contributing boards, defense, and shooting. Kaylee Charles combines defensive prowess with shooting and pace. Ileana Rupert functions as a stretch four who spaces the floor effectively. Janelle Solin brings similar four-position versatility with defensive capability and floor spacing. Kia Vaughn operates as the ideal rim-running center, providing elite defensive anchoring while offering surprising perimeter shooting ability. Though her three-point percentage sits at concerning levels this season, her shooting mechanics suggest improvement potential.
Damn basket. Hold on. Hold on. Did she just under the basket? Doink. Oh my God. Aerial Powers. Aerial Powers. Wide open Lexi. Doink. Oh my God. Damn. Look, look, look. Doink. Bruh. Now this was all in one sequence. Mind you guys, this was all in one sequence. This was not a club.
Even with current struggles from beyond the arc, her overall impact exceeds traditional big players like Wheeler. Supporting cast members like Tiffany Hayes contribute high energy, defensive intensity, and shooting. Kate Martin provides defensive reliability and perimeter threats. Veronica Burton offers defensive toughness, playmaking ability, and shooting range. Zandalicini brings defensive intensity and shooting capability. Monique Billings contributes defensive presence, athletic ability, and mid-range shooting potential.
A clip, skip moment. This was one basketball sequence. This happened. This happened, bro. We got to check out some of these comments. We got to check out. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Let me see. Women's sports will never be widely popular because people watch sports to see athletes doing things they could never imagine themselves doing. Since women are smaller, slower, and weaker, women basketball.
This roster construction represents completely modern basketball philosophy. The Valkyries assembled players that other organizations overlooked or undervalued. Saline likely faced limited market interest, as evidenced by the apparent lack of international scouting from most WNBA front offices. Traditional decision makers like Amber Cox and Kelly Krauskopf rarely scout overseas talent, instead relying on previous WNBA performance data. The expansion draft provided the perfect opportunity for modern basketball evaluation. Forward-thinking organizations could have identified Saline as a 20-year-old point guard starting for top Eurocup competition.
Smaller, slower, and weaker, women basketballs look like an over 40 league at the YMCA, and nobody could pays. Nobody pays to see it, bro. And like that's what gets me is this the league that people cover when they can't cover no other league? Because I'm starting to believe that is the case. You know what I'm saying? Or like watch, like other content creators just failed in other genres. So they just gotta, come over here. Like, is that like what's happening?
They could have recognized Thornton's value after the Liberty's roster decisions, or identified Burton as available talent from Connecticut, the Dream's failure to protect elite three-point shooting center talent, or the Fever's choice to protect Wheeler over Vaughn, created additional opportunities. Even Kate Martin's selection served multiple purposes, combining legitimate shooting ability with marketability factors. The organization built their foundation through strategic evaluation of available talent across multiple franchises. Current roster construction allows for significant improvement within the established framework. Vaughn provides elite rim protection and mobility.
Stephanie White says Chloe Bibby hasn't had a step back. All the traveling made her knee swell up so much that it caused some issues, so she won't be available. So basically, she hasn't had a setback, but here's a setback. And by the way, it's like, is the training staff doing the job? Like, this training staff, if you are on flights and you have any of these type of injuries, so swelling is just your body trying to heal. So that's all swelling is, your body trying to heal something. So in a lot of these scenarios, like,
Rupert ranks among the league's premier power forwards due to her floor spacing capabilities, shooting nearly 50% from three-point range. These acquisitions cost nothing in terms of trades or major free agent expenditures. This transformation extends beyond coaching changes to fundamental basketball philosophy shifts. Previous seasons saw teams like the Fever succeed by playing different styles than their competition. Now the Fever has reverted to traditional WNBA approaches while the Valkyries continue pushing modern concepts. Statistical analysis supports these philosophical differences.
Is your body trying to heal something. So in a lot of these scenarios, like, look, your body is essentially not like, you have an injury, and with all the pressure and everything, when you're in the sky, your body could be like, it affects your body. It does. It absolutely does. And it could just be her body not being used to the pressure, and she gets off and her knee swells. Because, like, when you have any sort of like trauma, your body can.
Teams above .500 records that score more paint points or attempt fewer three-pointers than Indiana include only Seattle Storm. Lower performing teams consistently emphasize paint scoring over perimeter shooting. Dallas Wings, Connecticut Sun, and Chicago Sky all rank among heavy paint scoring teams while struggling overall. Successful organizations prioritize three-point attempts, with most elite teams ranking high in perimeter shooting volume. The Valkyries succeed despite roster limitations, partly due to injury issues affecting half their rotation. Player-for-player talent evaluation suggests this roster should rank among the league's weakest, yet their systematic approach and archetype prioritization creates competitive advantages.
Sort of like trauma, your body can tend to swell. And again, like, people are like, oh, do you have you're not a doctor. And I'm like, dude, I've had every injury known to man. I can show you my Achilles scar if you want. I can only wear specific shoes on airplanes because my whole foot swells up because of the Achilles injury. Because of the Achilles injury, my body my foot randomly starts swelling up when I'm on planes. And it's happened. I've gone to doctors, I've gone to everyone. They're like, oh, nothing to worry about. It's just your body's you're now.
Basketball success depends heavily on positional archetypes rather than individual talent accumulation. The Fever lacks proper archetype distribution across their roster construction. Previous discussions about players like Chloe Bibby highlighted these needs. Stretch fours who provide floor spacing, ball handling ability, and guard skills represent ideal targets. Salin perfectly embodies this archetype. Defensive capability, floor spacing, pace, ball handling skills, and shot creation ability. Multiple previous analyses identified her as the top available free agent precisely due to these complementary skills. Instead, the organization doubled down on Howard, who despite her veteran leadership and Commissioner's Cup MVP performance, represents outdated positional thinking.
Body's natural reaction to the trauma in your leg is to swell. And that's the thing, when you have a knee injury and you go on a flight, it's going to swell. Doesn't really mean anything. It's an annoying one, but it is a setback. She literally said it's caused some issues. So it's not just random swelling, it's something else. Because if it's just random swelling and people are like, oh, this is a sign of a really bad injury. Not if you just come off a flight.
Championship teams in 2025 require modern basketball approaches. Too many quality organizations have embraced contemporary strategies for traditional methods to remain viable. The Fever's mentality mirrors 2014 NBA thinking, dismissing three-point shooting teams as unsustainable and emphasizing interior presence above perimeter skills. This philosophy directly parallels historical NBA resistance to Golden State Warriors' approach, when traditional thinkers insisted jump shooting teams couldn't win championships. The fundamental mathematical advantage of three-point shooting eventually proved undeniable, yet some organizations continue resisting these concepts. The Valkyries lack personnel for immediate championship contention, but their philosophical foundation positions them perfectly for future success.
But with that, why is she traveling? If she still has a minor knee injury, why is she traveling so much if her knee's swelling? Get her back to Indiana. Get her back to Indiana. But also, she literally said there's no setback and then defined a fucking setback. So that the definition of a setback change. Pressure differential when you're playing affects swelling, but isn't a new injury, hence no setback. Yes, it is. It doesn't, like, you don't have to, a setback doesn't have to be a new injury.
Within 3 seasons, this organization will likely compete for titles. Their upcoming free agency advantages will make them premier destinations for elite talent, maintaining core players like Burton, Zandalicini, Martin, Saloon, Rupert, Vaughn, Charles, Thornton, Daly, and Leocadia, while adding maximum contract players creates ideal situations for stars like Jackie Young. Despite current shooting struggles, Young's proven ability combined with proper supporting cast could flourish in this system. The organization also benefits from upcoming draft selections and incoming talent like Juju Watkins, a 6-man combo guard who provides shot creation and modern point guard skills. These additions to the existing foundation create championship-level potential.
It doesn't have to be a new injury. It doesn't have to be a new injury. Like, what are we talking about? Like, are we... I think the English language, I don't get it. Like, it doesn't have to be a major setback. Like, a major setback is a new injury and she's done for the year. A minor setback is her legs swelled up after traveling. She's done for this game. Like, she's done for this game. She might be back in 2 games. Like, that might be, like, that is a setback. That is a setback.
Alternative coaching scenarios wouldn't necessarily improve current Fever performance. Stephanie White represents the optimal coach for this particular roster construction. The fundamental issue stems from organizational philosophy emphasizing outdated basketball concepts over modern strategic approaches. Traditional paint scoring emphasis and 1960s basketball principles continue influencing multiple WNBA organizations despite their obvious limitations. Seattle Storm exemplifies this disappointment, scoring more paint points and attempting fewer three-pointers than Indiana while underachieving relative to expectations.
That is a setback. That is a setback to basically say, because if her knee's swelling up and stuff, she's probably not playing the Mercury game because they have to travel to Phoenix as well. But like, yeah, of course. Okay, yeah, you know, she was healthy. She was healthy enough to be on the bench, and then all of a sudden she's out for 2 games. So yes, there's a setback. It doesn't every setback doesn't have to be a major setback. Like, we don't have to, it becomes inaccurate when you say there's no setback and then list off a fucking setback. Like, that's where these
Their big-name acquisitions failed to mesh effectively due to poor philosophical alignment. The Fever possesses the ultimate modern basketball point guard, yet surrounds her with front-office decision-making that actively opposes contemporary strategic thinking. The Golden State Valkyries have thoroughly exposed these contradictions, demonstrating how proper organizational philosophy creates competitive advantages regardless of individual talent limitations. The Indiana Fever organization continues to provide confusing information regarding player health situations throughout this season. Their statements about athlete injuries have been particularly unclear and contradictory.
Say there's no setback and then list off a fucking setback. Like, that's where every speculation, that's where people start to question front office. That's where all of this type of thing happens. That's where all of this type of conversation happens. Is because of weird mixed signals and mixed messages being given to everybody. Like, for me, this is something where the Indiana Fever, I don't know about the Indiana Fever medical staff. I don't know. There's a lot of weird things like Lexi Hull finding out after the game that she didn't have a facial fracture.
The team's handling of Caitlin Clark's ankle problem exemplifies this communication issue. Officials claimed the injury wouldn't impact her recovery schedule, but this statement was misleading since no specific time frame had been announced initially. The organization argued that because no timeline was established, nothing could disrupt a non-existent schedule. This circular reasoning frustrated fans seeking transparent updates. Kelsey Mitchell's knee situation presents another example of contradictory messaging.